Hello, welcome to video number 23, Simply More. We have a quick video for you this time. We're simply going to do a little bit more practice of what we've been doing in class. Let's take a look at the first slide here. So we're going to practice naming some angles again. Alright, so we got 6 examples and we're going to classify them as corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, or vertical. There's also some angles called same side exterior, but they didn't come up in this group. Okay, let's take a look at the first one. I see that the angles are inside the parallel lines. So they're on the interior. What I just shaded there is the interior. So either they're same side interior or alternate. X is on one side of the transversal, Y is on the other side of the transversal. So these are alternate interiors. And I'll put AI for short. Okay, on the next one, I see that they're kind of both in the interior here, but this time they're on the same side of the transversal. So these are same side interior. Okay, I thought we'd practice this a little bit more. Almost everyone's doing really well. A couple people, this might be a little bit new for, so I want to give a little additional practice. These two angles here, well, they look like they're kissing almost. Those are vertical angles. So they're the opposite angles when lines cross. So sometimes we see them when there's no vertical lines, but they can appear with vertical lines also. So those are vertical. All right, down here at number 4, these are both on the exterior. Remember, the interior is inside here. Those are on the outside of the two lines. So, and they're on alternate sides of the transversal. Remember, the transversal is the line that crosses the two other lines. So this is a transversal. All right, so they're on the exterior, and one's on one side of the transversal, one's on the other. So this is alternate exterior. Okay, let's keep going. One's on the exterior, one's on the interior. So this is the interior here. That's a good sign that they might be corresponding, and they are. Remember, corresponding means matching. That angle is in the same position as this one. They're in the upper right. So, okay, so that's corresponding. Their positions match. Okay, last one. One's in the interior, so this is the interior. One's on the exterior. They're in the same position. They're in the lower left. So Y is in the lower left of this group of 4. X is in the lower left of that group of 4. Lower left, corresponding. So I'll put CORR period for corresponding. So I say they match. They're in the same position. Okay, let's see what's next. The other thing I want to practice is more solving. So the key is to recognize what kind of angles they are. That's the geometry. After that, we can write the equation and solve. So these two angles, we see that they form a straight line. Together, they form this line right here. So they must add to 180. So we just add them up to 180. 2x plus 1 plus 55 has to equal 180. Combine like terms, so we get 2x plus 56 equals 180. Subtract the 56, you get 2x equals, I think, 124. If you divide by 2, you get 62. So x must equal 62 for this diagram to make sense. All right, on this one, it's kind of funky. We got 3 lines here. But what we got to notice is these two angles are opposite angles. Those are vertical angles. So they're formed by these two straight lines which are crossing. Vertical angles are congruent, so their measures have to be equal. Shapes are congruent and numbers are equal. So the angles are congruent, means they have the same shape, and their measures, those are numbers, they're equal. So 1 plus 2x equals 83. Subtract 1, we get 2x equals 82, and x equals 41. That's all she wrote, and that's it for that one. Okay, here's another one. We gotta think, what's the relationship between these two angles? This line right here is kind of a distractor. These two angles form a straight line. So that's the important fact. So they add to 180. 3x plus 9 equals 99. Subtract 9, and we get 3x equals 90, or x equals 30. So it's important to take a second and think, what's the relationship between the angles? And if you get that right, you're going to get the problem right. All right, I just have 2 more examples, and then there'll be the journal assignment. Okay, take a look at this. It looks like a bow tie almost. This problem right here. That line's kind of a distractor. That line's a distractor. They're used to looking at angles with a lot of other things going on, so there will always be distractors. But we see that these are vertical angles. There are opposite ones. So 6x plus 1 has to equal 85. Vertical angles are congruent. So 6x equals 84. I think about this. I think that's 14. So x equals 14. Super. Last example. Take a look. These 2 lines together, or those 2 angles together, form this straight line right here. So they must be a linear pair. 155 plus x minus 52 has to be 180. So combine like terms, we get 103 plus x equals 180. And if we subtract 103, boom, we get x equals 77, I think. So there should be 103 there. Okay, super duper. Hey, even this guy likes it. All right, so just got to pay attention. Vertical angles are linear pair. And then set up the equation. So here's tonight's journal assignment. The first 3, you're going to describe what kind of angles they are. Then the second 2, or the bottom 2 down here, think about what kind of angles they are. Are they vertical angles or a linear pair? And set up the equation appropriately. If they're a linear pair, they add to 180 degrees. If they're vertical angles, their measures got to be equal. Copy those in these bottom 2 figures in your journal and solve them. Good luck.